Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 13 of Starting from Scratch. This week's bow technique is going to be staccato. Staccato on the string. No way I can do flying staccato yet, but staccato on the string is something which is very, very good for a beginner to work at because it's about catching the string, and it's catching the string all the time as you move along the bow. So you get a very good feel for adding weight, catching the string, and the balance distribution of the bow. This week's string hand technique is double stops. Now, double stops is usually not something which one does as a beginner, but the whole point of this series and the whole point of me turning myself into a beginner again is to test this method that I learned from Ruggiero Ricci and see in what way it can be adapted for beginners and in what way that helps learning the violin and perhaps learning the violin more effectively. Now I'm just going to do this on open strings so that I can concentrate completely on the bow, and I'm going to start with just catching the string a few times. I'm going to put the bow down in the middle, and I'm going to lean my hand forward towards the first finger and press down the stick. I can tell if I've caught the string if I can move it from side to side without making a sound. And then as I release, the release gets the bow moving. The last one was quite good. I had the typical clicking sound that one needs for this bowing. Now I'm going to do the same thing as staccato, which basically means that I'm going to be catching the string for several notes on one bow. I'm not worried about how many notes I'm doing right now. I'm just worried about catching the string and releasing and having the sound be something more or less okay. It's quite strenuous, but this is a very good exercise to get used to adding weight to the bow. Do the same thing on the A string. Okay, I'm not at all surprised that my up bow staccato, or rather slow motion staccato, is a lot better than my down bow staccato, because that's always been the case with me. Also, when I play the normal way, my down bow staccato is more or less useless. I can't do down bow staccato. Up bow staccato is a lot of fun. I like doing that, but I avoid down bow staccato because it just never really worked with me. Here I'm going to practice both because yes, of course, I hope one day I can play a fast staccato also this way around. I doubt it right now, but we'll see. But this is an exercise because I'm continuously applying weight at the different parts of the bow. And my goal is that hopefully when I've done this, I can develop a sound which is more in the string and not so much just on top of the string. I want the bow to go into the string. And staccato is a very good way of practicing so that one can get used to applying this weight all the time, and usually sound improves when one does that. We will see. Into D string. Okay, I'm noticing the catching of the string is getting a little bit better. I have to also listen out for the sound which comes in between the catching of the string, because that is the actual sound. I still need to keep some contact with the string. I can't release completely, and I need to see that I can feel the string somehow in my first finger of my bow hand. Okay, G string. Okay, apart from the bow sliding around a lot here, actually my down bow staccato was better. So maybe my left hand can do down bow staccato. We'll see. I'm going to finish off with just some long bows, not quite the whole bow because that's not what I'm working on right now. I just want to see if I can feel the string a little bit better now, and if I can go into the string a bit more and have more of a bigger sound. Okay, that really definitely has improved. I've got a better feeling for the string and I'm going into the string more. That's the point of practicing staccato. So I'm quite happy that it really is helping me. Now double stops. Fortunately, I have prepared my string hand with the pizzicato exercises, which I did like this. All of those, so it's not completely unprepared, but actually playing double stops with the bow I haven't done yet, so this is a first. Here I'm going to start on G and D string. It's most strenuous for my string hand, but it's easiest to get to sound, because sound is really important when one practices double stops. I'm just going to start with just playing open G and D string to get my bow used to playing on two strings. It's still quite wobbly, not as wobbly as it was right in the beginning. It was a good idea to practice on two strings a lot. And now I'm going to do the octave open G string and third finger G on the D string. Finally, at the end, I got the intonation. Intonation is very difficult. Correcting, I'm finding very, very difficult because this hand is just not used to correcting. That's, I think, why practicing double stops will be a huge help for me. This is difficult, but I don't care. Violin playing is difficult. Correcting is difficult, but that's what I have to practice. You need to do that again. Just the two open strings and then the octave. What this exercise is teaching me, it's teaching my third finger where the G is, because it keeps on having to find it. And by playing the G with the open G string, I have to be very exact about intonation, so I have to correct. Now I'm going to do the same thing, alternating the two open strings with the first finger E as a sixth. very difficult, but I'm noticing this is useful. I made a complete video tutorial on exactly this double stop exercise, and I'll put the link in the description for any of you who are interested in also practicing this exercise. It's a very good exercise, and I have some sheet music available for it as well, although this is really quite easy to do by ear. The sheet music is just for people who would like to have the sheet music on their music stand. Personally, I would recommend everybody to do this by ear, because this is what we're trying to learn. We're practicing listening. Okay, I need to do this one string higher now on D and A string. First, I'll just play them a little bit. Now third finger D with the octave. I'm noticing I'm continuously tempted on trying to see where my third finger is supposed to go. I know nearly all beginners do that. It's very funny that I'm doing that as well, because I don't know how often I've told beginners, don't look at your left hand. That doesn't help you. You have to feel where it is, hear if it's in the correct place, and correct it if necessary. And here I am trying to see myself. So it's more important you have to feel where the note is. Now I'm going to do alternating open strings and first finger with the octave. Okay, this is really teaching my first and third finger where the notes are. And not only do I have to correct for intonation, but I also have to correct for sound all the time, because this exercise has to sound good. It's no point in practicing double stops if they don't sound good. So it's very difficult for both hands. Now, A and E string. Oh, this is so hard. This is really difficult. Okay, again. Okay, A and E string I found most difficult to get to sound. G and D string is most strenuous because from the hand's point of view it's furthest away. So those are the beginning double stop exercises. I'm going to have to practice that a lot. It's very difficult, but it's very, very helpful because it really does teach the hand and the fingers where the notes are. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Try out these exercises and let me know in the comments how they work for you. Also, if you have any questions, and see you next time.